Yep, this happened. The perfectly looking cake went from this to this, all because of one error. Now let's see what that is. So by the next day, the cake had settled down, and when I mean settled, it now has the time to balance. But unfortunately, we had gone ahead to cover the cake with the scrapple. Scrapple is actually what is falling off the cake now, and it's a combination of cake crumbs and buttercream, and we use that instead of ganache as a covering option, which I shouldn't have used for this cake because it was quite tall. And then this is exactly what the problem was. The dowel rod, or the cake was too tall and we did not support it properly, and the dowel rod literally gave way. This was 8 a.m. in the morning, and the cake was needed at the venue for 9 o'clock. So the first thing I did was, of course, we reached out to the customer just to give them an update of the situation, which is important. You carry your customer along. And then we decided to quickly come together as a team to do the repair. So how did I correct the cake? It was simple. I used a foil wrapped disc, and used that to prop up the side of the cake that had fallen. And I had learned my lesson. This time we went in with chocolate ganache. So quickly placed the chocolate ganache around the cake, allowed it to firm up, and then put some more on the parts that were not properly aligned. Yes, now covering is done, and look, we did a perfect job, didn't we? Anyway, we start to attach the panels back to the cake, and to do this quickly, I used some Crisco on the edges and steamed the middle part so that this time around it is really attaching. And I go around the entire cake like so and get ready the other elements. Luckily, we had some of the decorative elements. It was just about covering the cake and making sure that it was as pristine and neat as possible. Now, I always cover the top of our cake with this thin strip of fondant just to take away any seam whatsoever. Okay, so we quickly decorate the cake, add on all the other attachments, and by this time I am so relieved. Hey, Lord have mercy. Cake is all done now, and what I'm doing is steaming just to clean up and make the cake a lot more pristine. And then I add the topper, the happy birthday topper. And meanwhile, the staff contacts the customer at about 10:41 a.m. just to say we're done and that the cake will be leaving shortly. And she just said, "Thank you. Please, can we take a moment and appreciate customers like this?" Anyway, that's the finished cake, and it looked absolutely gorgeous, much better than the first option. What do you think? Happy caking!